After the Architect series, which Think had conducted exclusively for NATA, we are coming up with a new series exclusively for JEE Paper 2, the ARC8 series. ARC8 series is a series of 8 video lectures which will cover 4 different topics which are related to Architecture JEE Paper 2. The 4 topics include drawing, max, non-verbal reasoning and architecture awareness. Hello everyone, this is Suraj and you are with Think Institute of Design. In this video of ARC8 series, we'll discuss about architecture awareness. The percentage of marks that was allotted for architecture awareness has increased from 15 to 20%. What also needs to be noted here is that there has been an increased variety of questions that they have added. For example, image-based questions have come up. There are other types of questions like, for example, documentaries or questions that are based on books that are written by famous people who are qualified as architect but probably are not working as architects anymore. So they're expecting you to have a all-round or holistic kind of an understanding with respect to the field that you're going to enter for studying for the next 5 years. There were 20 questions that were asked. In that, 5 of the questions we'll discuss in this video. Let's look at the first question. Which among the following is the full form of UNESCO? There are 4 options. Option A, United Nations Educational Security Cultural Organization, United Nations Educational Sustainable and Cultural Organization, United Nations Educational Scientific and Cultural Organization, United Nations Entrance Site Calling Organization. I want you to pause this video, go through the 4 options that are given and comment the correct answers in the comment box. Let's look at the answers. The correct answer is option number 3, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Let's look at what is UNESCO. It is a specialized agency of United Nations which is headquartered at Paris, France. It has around 193 members and as most of you must have already been aware, India is definitely a member of it. It was founded on the 16th of November 1945. In fact, UNESCO, one of the reasons why we hear a lot about UNESCO is because of their famous list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. India has 38 UNESCO World Heritage Sites that are declared as of now. I want you to comment in the comment box which is the latest site that has got the UNESCO World Heritage Site tag in it. Question number 2. The book God of Small Things is written by which Indian architect? There are 4 options given. Revati Kamath, Bimal Patel, Arundhati Roy and B.B. Doshi. Again, I want you to pause the question, go through the options and comment the correct answer in the comment box. Let's look at the answers. The correct answer for this question is Arundhati Roy. It's a very interesting but tricky question because Arundhati Roy, even though she's qualified as an architect, not many people are aware of the fact that she's actually an architect. She's famous for other reasons. Arundhati Roy, along with this book, has also done a lot of other works which are related to literature. For example, she has written screenplays. One of the most famous works for which she has written a screenplay is In Which Annie Gives It Those Ones. It was one of the very famous series that was telecasted in Doordarshan during the 1980s. Other books like, for example, The Ministry of Utmost Happiness and also this one, yes, The God of Small Things, were all written by Arundhati Roy. It is also important to note here that The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy had actually won the Booker Prize in the year 1997. So I think it would be helpful if you could actually compile a list of very famous books that are written by some of the architects, probably the ones who qualified as architects and not working as architects. Or also you could also compile a list of documentaries which are based on the works of certain architects. Question number 3. The first Indian architect who has won the Pritzker Prize in 2018 is, there are 4 options that are given. The first one is B.V. Doshi, second one is Laurie Baker, third one Achyut Kanminde and 4th one Raj Rewal. I want you to pause the video, go through the 4 options and comment what's the correct answer according to you in the comment box. Let's look at the answer. The only Indian till date and also the first Indian to have actually won the Pritzker Prize is architect B.V. Doshi. He was born in the year 1927 in British Pune. He is an alumnus of Sir J.J. School of Arts at Mumbai. It's one of the most prestigious schools that has produced great architects in this country over the period of time. Interestingly, he has worked with Le Corbusier and Louis Kahn. There has been a lot of interesting buildings that he has done, especially in Ahmedabad in Gujarat. He's someone who used open spaces and exposed large concrete walls extensively in most of his buildings. The prominent material that he used was cement concrete. Along with the Pritzker Architecture Prize, he had also won Padma Awards from the Government of India. It's also interesting to know that before winning the Pritzker Architecture Prize, he was someone who was actually the member of jury of the Pritzker Architecture Prize from 2005 to 2007. He has also got a few other awards like the Aga Khan Award for Architecture, etc. Some of the important buildings that he has designed include CEPT University at Ahmedabad, Indian Institute of Management at Bangalore, the famous semi-buried Ahmedabadni Gufa at Ahmedabad. Question number 4. The IIM Ahmedabad is designed by which of the following architect? There are 4 options that are given: Lutyens, Laurie Baker, Louis Kahn and Le Corbusier. I want you to pause the video, go through the options and comment the correct answer in the comment box below. Let's look at the answer. The correct answer is Louis Kahn. Louis Kahn was a very famous American architect of his times. He was someone who was extremely fascinated by simple geometry. Another feature that you can see in his buildings are bricks, arches and also large geometrical facades. For example, in the Indian Institute of Management building that he designed at Ahmedabad, you can find a lot of arches that he has actually built with the help of bricks. If you watch some of the movies that are shot there, like Two States, etc. Now, he was someone who believed that classrooms are actually the starting points of learning spaces. So he tried to create as many interactive spaces as much as possible. For example, be it gardens or open spaces or staircases, steps, etc. Let's come to the last question of this video. Question number 5. Here you are given 2 lists. On the one side, you are given a list of monuments, and on the other side, you are given a list of places. So you have to connect the monuments with respect to the correct places from where they actually belong to. Again, I want you to go through the options and find the correct ones and comment that in the comment box. Let's look at the answers. Now, when we're going to deal with a question that's related to, let's say, for example, match the following, be it monuments and location, or for example, monuments and architects could be something that could come up in the next exam. So when we are marking something like that, the trick behind this is to actually eliminate the wrong answers and select the correct ones as fast as possible. It is not always necessary that you have to know the 4 answers, 4 options, which are the locations wherein these monuments belong to. It is not necessary for us to know that. In this question, I'll tell you the easiest way to arrive at the answer. Look at the 3rd monument, Golconda Fort. If you are aware of where exactly Golconda Fort is located, this question can be solved. It is not necessary that you have to know about the Mehrangarh Fort or Siri Fort, etc. The 3rd monument, that is Golconda Fort, actually is located at Hyderabad. Let's look at the options. Is there any option that matches the 3rd monument with the site mentioned in the option A, Hyderabad? In the first option that's given, Golconda is matched along with Hyderabad. Interestingly, in all the other options that are given, Golconda is not matched with Hyderabad. So the first one is the correct answer. Let's look at the other monuments also. The first one, Mehrangarh Fort. Mehrangarh Fort is a very famous fort in Jodhpur in the state of Rajasthan. Jodhpur is popularly known as the Blue City. Mehrangarh comes from the word Mihir in Sanskrit, which actually means sun. So Mehrangarh Fort is supposed to mean the citadel of sun. It was founded by the Maharaja Rao Jodha in the year 1459 AD. Number 2, Siri Fort. Siri Fort is in New Delhi. Siri is one of those 7 medieval cities which were actually responsible for creating the city of Delhi. It was built during the rule of Alauddin Khilji, who was ruling the Delhi Sultanate around the early 300s. The reason why that fort was actually built was because they wanted to save their area, they wanted to save their kingdom from the brutal Mongols. Along with Siri Fort, it's also important to note that there were 6 other cities. These 7 medieval cities combined together and formed the Delhi. Most of these cities were built during the medieval era. The next site, the next famous monument is the Golconda Fort. Golconda Fort, as I've already mentioned, you can find it in Hyderabad in Andhra Pradesh. It was built around the 1143 CE. It was originally built by Kakatiyas, but most of it what you can find today is actually belonging to the Qutub Shah dynasty. Etymology has two different stories. The first one says Golconda is actually coming from the Telugu word Golla Konda. Gulla means shepherds and Konda means hill. There is another story which says that Golconda actually stands for Gol plus Konda, which means round shaped hill. Originally this was known as Mankal. Initially it was a mud fort, but later on when the powerful Qutub Shah dynasty took over, they used a lot of granite. It's important to know that when we are talking of ancient monuments, be it ancient, medieval or modern monuments, we have to know about the building materials mostly that were used in that particular building. Now it is also important to note that Golconda Fort, which is also included in the list of Qutub Shah dynasty monuments, all those together are put in the UNESCO World Heritage Site tentative list. Talking of cities, Golconda gave us the very famous Kohinoor diamonds, and Hyderabad is very famously and popularly known as the Pearl City of India. The last monument is Fort William, which was built in the locality called as Hastings. It is a locality which you can find in the current Kolkata or the ancient Calcutta. It was built by the Britishers on the banks of Hooghly River so that they could have safe trading with other countries. So in this video, we have covered some of the questions which were asked in the February session of JEE Paper 2. We have covered questions that are based on heritage, monuments, architects, and some of their famous works. Now, please have a set of notes that are prepared for famous monuments, like for example, the ancient, medieval and modern monuments that were constructed, especially in India, and also the rulers who were responsible for their construction. And if there were any architects, please include that too, so that it would be easier for you to revise. Also, it could be handy if you could make a list of the designers who are responsible for the design of IIMs and IITs in India, all the IIMs and IITs which are there in India. For more such previous year questions, discussions, notes and quizzes, you can refer to our YouTube community page and also our Telegram channel. The link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. So see you in the next session. Till then, it's Suraj and Think signing off. Thank you.
I hope you liked the video. So how is your exam preparation going? What makes you different is how you prepare for the exam. We are consistent in producing top results both in the field of architecture and design, which is of course our pride, and we welcome you for the upcoming courses. We have short-term courses, long-term courses. Short-term courses include crash batches and foundation batch, and long-term courses include regular batches, repeater batches and long-term weekend batches. For more details regarding our courses, visit our website www.thinkdis.com. The link will be provided in the description box below. Let's design your career. Let's design it together with Think Institute of Design. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and also click the bell icon. Bye. Stay tuned for more updates.